All right, so this match review comes from FeedYapper. They have 650 hours in the game. They're playing Wesker on Dead Dog Saloon, so a very, it's not, I think Dead Dog gets a worse rap than it deserves in terms of like being an aggressively killer sided map, but it is because of its small size, errors mostly on the killer side. Especially playing Wesker, who's top 5, top 10 characters in the game. This is definitely a good setup for you, at least initially. At least initially, it's a good setup for you. Put you in the... You don't break that wall. Don't break that wall ever. Don't ever break that wall. That opens up main building in a way you will not like. Don't ever break that wall. Don't ever break that wall. That's like Batum levels of like don't touch that. In terms, I actually didn't. Usually I start off with your add-ons and builds. Sorry. Unicorn Medallion, probably one of his best add-ons. Very good that you have that right away. I do like Chalice. Chalice is a very fun add-on. Definitely better replaced by different add-ons, but it's a very fun add-on. So I'm not gonna knock you for that. You got a lot of broccoli perks. Nowhere to Hide, lethal. Great combo. Great combo. Obviously comboing that with Overcharge and Brutal. Honestly, this is a fine build. Honestly, this is a fine build. Honestly, like, I can't say anything about this. Like, this makes sense. From the top of the bomb, I see what you're going for. And as long as you get value out of it, like, you know, pretty solid. Pretty solid. So you see this person going for boom. Yeah, with here, I know that person was setting up a boon, but I would definitely prioritize the person that's working on the gen actively, because that boon will help them, you know, heal better or like give you shadow step to like be annoying. But I would prioritize the person that's actually up on the gen, because that's your main objective, is to stop them. Okay, you're gonna do that. They were right next to you, and you were so busy getting perk value you didn't even see them. That's funny. That's funny. Okay, I'm seeing initially already that you kind of have like an indecisiveness to your gameplay, which is probably going to cost you. Like, you're kind of like, okay, well, I want to kick this gen. Okay, well, I'm going to chase you. Okay, well, now I'm going to chase you. Like, you got to just pick and commit. Because indecision is a time waster, and time in DBD is gen time. Match time is gen time, so you got to, like, you got to commit to something here. Yeah, like, you can't do what you're doing right now. I'm going to tell you that right now. You can't do what you're doing right now, where you're just like, okay, well, now I'm going to go pressure this. Okay, well, now I'm going to go pressure that. Okay, now I'm going to go chase this guy, and I'm going to go over here. You are so indecisive. Meanwhile, gens are going in the background. Gens are going in the background. Match time is gen time. Match time is gen time. So the more time you spend just like not committing to anything, like, people are doing gens in the background. You got to commit to one of these chases. You have to, or else you are not putting out pressure on the map. If I open the door on Batum, should I quit? Yes. Never open the door on Batum. There you go.
Is that all you have?
The way you could have avoided this is by Euro bending. Euro bending is where you do an input, a directional input, while you're dashing. And what Wesker will do is you do this like little Tokyo drift, where he's still going the direction he was originally going, but he'll like spin while he's doing it, and then the throw will go wherever he's spinning. So obviously you should input a direction input to the right here. That way she flies into the door and not out into nothing. That's how you prevent that. Because she should be injured here, but she's not. No, she's not. But the challenge, no. I usually leave that door up too. It's not as bad as the other ones. But there's kind of no reason to break that one. This one, yes. See, like what I said. Everything happening in the background is gen time. And you haven't even injured somebody yet, technically. Damn on your hand to show you how to do things. I'm honestly not good enough at them that would be any sort of like, you know. I'm not like Lilith Omen, where like I'm like a character specialist and I'm that f***ing good that like seeing what my hand does would be irrelevant. Maybe with like Billy. I'm okay enough at Billy that I think maybe with like Billy stuff I could show you. But other than that, no. You heard her, Paul. You knew she wasn't on the gen. I'm gonna tell you right now, you're so addicted to kicking gens and getting your overcharge value that you're losing the video game. You have not downed a single person this entire match so far. You are so obsessed with kicking gens that you're not actually playing the video game. And that's why you're gonna lose. That's why this is gonna go bad for you. Yeah, I guess the name of the game is defending the gens, but like the best way to defend the gens is by killing the survivors, and you're not doing that. You haven't even downed anybody yet. Yeah, now you're down 2 gens, and you have nothing to speak for it. So like you stopped at that gen that just popped. That gen that just popped over there, you kicked that like 3 or 4 times. Do you see how that didn't help? Do you see like why I'm saying this? Like you stopped to kick that gen like 3 or 4 times, but it still got done. It still got done. So like, was that really worth it? Do you think at the end of the day that was like really a worthwhile investment of your time? No, because it just got done anyway. You know what would have been a worthwhile investment? Having somebody on hook that was trying to do that gen, so that gen doesn't get done because the survivor's on hook. And then, you know, maybe somebody who would have been on that gen is going for the save now instead. But no, you have no pressure on the map whatsoever. I'm sorry, that came out kind of like irritated. I'm not irritated, I promise. It was just like, I'm just trying to prove my point. Drop a Wesker and go Server Merchant? Yeah, honestly, if you want to do what you're doing right now, play Soul Merchant. Because that is the playstyle that you were displaying. It's like, I don't want to chase, I just want to kick things. Good mind game.
Hard performance indeed.
Good cleanup. Good job cleaning up. And now you're getting your first hook at 3 gens, which is very far behind. You were very much behind in pressure if you're only getting your first hook at 3 gens. Started. Shut up. What a nerd. Wesker's a nerd. Somebody set up a boon somewhere. You see Jill. She doesn't see you. I'm just gonna run straight into you. That's why Chalice is fun. That super long lunge. It's very funny. You're just like carrying him with you. Take him on a nice nice layover flight. Okay, this is fine because you're interrupting the save. But you're still not committing to anything. I would just M1 here. Instead of trying to go for the M2. You can go for the M2 later. There you go. You figured it out. Took you a second, but you figured it out. Yeah, you should have been doing this where you're actually like downing and hooking people. You should have been doing this like a gen and a half ago. You should not have been in this situation. You shouldn't be this deep in the match with no hook pressure. Or only 2 hooks. Now, Jill is insta-down. So I would definitely try to go for that. You could have hit that. You would have that you 100% would have hit that. You would have, if you had sent that here, you would have smacked her against the window. You would have got this for sure. You should have sent that. There you go.
Playtime is over.
Good. Ooh, yeah. Huh? Okay, you're finally getting the ball rolling. You're doing it 2 gens late, but you're finally getting the ball rolling. That brick wall I usually get rid of. That is annoying. Getting rid of the boon. You're spending a lot of time kicking things again. I think it's kind of going to be like your main kryptonite is you just want to kick everything. I know you have brutal nowhere to hide overcharge, but like you're wasting a lot of time doing this. Yeah. Now you're at 2 gens where you need somebody dead and you have nobody dead. It's just she sees you, so you. Good patience to wait for her.
Do you
That was good patience.
think you could defeat me?
Okay, you should be looking to get somebody out of the game right now as quick as possible. Does Rebecca have object? Is that why she saw you earlier? I think I thought that in my head, but I didn't say it aloud. It's definitely like... Yeah, nothing you have would proc that. I would go, like I said, you need somebody dead. I would go for Ada here. I would go for Ada here. Ada's death hook. Leona's not. You've wasted a lot of time kicking gens this match, so you're in a sense behind. So you need to catch that up. I would vault after him there. I wouldn't go all the way around. Unless he's not paying attention, which he's not. You miss, but he's thankfully not paying attention. But generally, you just follow him over in that loop.
Too bad you won't make it
Much further. Yeah, you tell him. Too bad you won't make it much further.
See you dead.
Full RE team? That is true. I didn't even notice that. That's a good point. Full RE team? Good catch. Yeah, she definitely has object. Which means she gets to see you every single time you do that, which is funny. So you're never gonna mind game her. That's funny. Are you only trial? Yeah, though, even the killer is Resident Evil. There you go. Would it be if someone new started and went against a full gen rush team? The match would probably be over in like a minute or two. Never break this door. This door is pointless. This is one of the weakest breakable walls in the game. Don't ever kick that. That is just straight up a waste of your time. That vault is so weak that there's no reason you should be needed to kick that breakable wall to deal with it. That's redecorating. Yeah, he's just rearranging the furniture, that's all. You need to get Ada dead here. You need to find Ada and kill her. Yeah, because now you're at 1 gen. Hey, look, she's right here. Perfect. Suddenly Leon's just in the bushes, that's okay. Oh, he was dead too. Okay, that's fine. That works out. I didn't even realize he was on death. Okay, so Ada should be your next target then. Yeah, your Ada should be your play here, not a Jill. Also, Jill is also leading you away from everything. All the gens are back on that side of the map. There's 1 gen left. She's leading you to the side of the map where the gens are already completed. So this is bait. She's essentially baiting you to go to the part of the map where you can't pressure the gens easily, and you're falling for it. When was that, Leon? I didn't see him. Yeah, because what Ada and Rebecca are going to do, you can't even say you don't know because you just saw her an object on that gen. I've never seen this before. Is she cheating? What just happened? Wait, what is this? She starts the vault, gets halfway through, and just teleports back to the other side. Like, she's laggy. She's getting red bar every once in a while. But the game should still read that she put in an input. Like, it should still send the input all the way through, not eat it. Much less show it on the server side. She's 100% vaulting. She gets almost halfway through. She gets almost halfway through. And it just resends it. I have literally never ever seen this. The only thing that was sort of like this is back in the day, you could like fake a vault because of a bug. But even then it didn't look like this, where you actually went through the window or the pallet halfway and then it just stopped. Lag, but that's what I'm confused about. Like, if she put in the input to vault the pallet, even if it happened late, this is why you'll see people in DBD Like, you've seen this in your matches probably when you're fighting a laggy survivor. It's like, they'll get up to a pallet and then they'll, like, freeze and then vault, right? It's because, like, the game is having a hard time catching up with the fact that she put in the input to vault. So she'll, like, a person will freeze at the pallet and then vault afterwards. She didn't do that. She actually gets halfway through the pallet vault and the game just goes, okay, well, she didn't actually press that button. I've never seen this. I don't know what caused this interaction. It's the chill cheating.
Yes.
Oh, well. The weird backwards vault thing? Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. That's interesting. I've never seen that before. Wow. That's wild. That's crazy. How did that even happen? With lag? But that's what I'm saying is it should, like in this event, it shouldn't just, you know, start the input and then take it back. The game should read that an input happened. Because it did, because she wouldn't be vaulting if she didn't have the input. And then just resend the input, like, oh, she didn't actually press that, because she clearly did. That's so bizarre. Many times about a game. Wait, are you serious? I've literally never ever seen this. Like, never ever. And like I said, in every other situation like that, what happens is usually they just freeze while standing at the pallet, and then they vault it. They don't like get halfway through and then stop. Yeah, this is why you should have killed Ada earlier, because now you're in a situation where, like, that gen's like 99 and you can't stick around to defend it, but if there was one less person, it would be way better to deal with. Yeah, she's lagging really bad. Probably as a pallet break instead?
Let's finish this.
I guess. That's just so bizarre. Well, you had the Mori, so that works. That's so. Oh, my head hurts. My head hurts after watching that. Oh, wild. That should not have happened. I feel like I'm in the Twilight Zone. Sometimes it's okay to just M1. You don't have to always do like fancy like M2 stuff with Wesker. I know it's the fun thing, but like you can just M1 too. Like she would have been down here if you just M1. Why did you swing there? You can see her aura. You can see her aura. Why do you swing like she's camping the pallet when you can literally see her aura? You know she's not there because you can physically see her. What the fuck? Is Mori's lengthy? Yeah. Sometimes I feel like Moris are cool, but I feel like sometimes Moris are like hinder you as much as they help you. Just cause they do take so long. Nah, no, you had the right idea. That's not your fault. That's just Wesker things. Because technically you were elevated, so when you went off the stairs, you dropped. You had the right idea. That should have gotten her. You just got kerfuffled by his random weird stuff. Yeah, you just kind of let her go. Yeah, I think you were too preoccupied with hitting the M2 that you actually just like missed out on the opportunity to hit her. Period. Yeah, you okay? Now you didn't even follow her. Yeah, you should have just M1'd her back there. You got so preoccupied with hitting your M2 and doing something fancy that you just lost the chase entirely. She's not even going to another one of the doors. She's just out in the middle of nowhere. She's giving you a second chance. She's very kind and polite, I guess. Giving you a second chance. That's so nice. Second chances are important. You know, forgiveness is a wonderful thing. Me and Wesker, maybe that's what we'll do. After match reviews, we'll play some Wesker. We'll do some Weskin time. She went the other way. She's going towards the door. Yeah, you got really lost here. Yeah, you kind of get lost. You lose her there. It's no bueno. Can you win in 7 minutes? I mean, if I play like an absolute kid, probably. Yeah, you kind of lose her there just because... You should have just M1'd her. And Ada should be dead. Yeah, like... Ada should be dead, but she's not. She's been on Deathic for like multiple gens. You didn't kill her. Wait. Hold on. I'm gonna watch that again. Wait, what happens here? She's vaulting this pallet over and over here. And then you go check. Okay, she runs right by you to the left with sprint burst. She literally runs right by you and you don't see her. I was like, how did she get over there on object? If she was just vaulting this. But she sprint bursted by you. Yeah, she should be dead. Like, she should be down. But you refused to M1 her and got too greedy for the M2. That's why you end this situation. That Jill thing was still wild. I think that's the funniest thing I've ever seen on the match reviews. That was wild. A lot of this was, honestly, I mean, there is a brand new part. This Rebecca is, actually, she doesn't have sprint burst. She just made for this. She made for this all the way there? That's crazy. That's faster than I thought. There's a brand new part and 2 proofs in this match. This is actually pretty obnoxious. Like, this looks like a pretty obnoxious setup. That's not why you lost this, though. I want to be clear about that. Like, this is a pretty obnoxious group in terms of items and perks to face. That's not why you lost this. You lost this because you spent 2 of the opening gens. Main takeaway, sorry. These are your main takeaways. First main takeaway, and the reason you lost this match is because you spent the first two sections of our first 2 gens of the match just like dry kicking gens. I know you had overcharge, and you're trying to get nowhere to hide value, but like literally, you just spent the first 2 gens not actually chasing or down anybody, but just trying to go for like kick value out of your perks. Like, there will be nothing. There is no faster slowdown in this game than downing survivors and forcing them to go for unhooks. That is the fastest way you can act pressure on the map. No perk will ever dwarf that. No perk is ever better than that. You spent 2 whole gens just like running around kicking everything. So like that's why you lost. If you started like snowballing pretty well in like the middle of the match. Like after that 3-gen hit, you started like downing people, putting them on hook. You had Leon dead, you had Ada dead, even though you didn't end up killing Ada. Like you were just so caught up and like kicking all the gens and keeping them all down that you end up defending literally none of them. You were so preoccupied with keeping the gens from getting done that you ended up defending none of them because you're trying to spread yourself way too thin. Like doing what you did on like one side of the map, like a couple gens in a row, like that's fine. That's fine, especially with overcharge. But like, and nowhere to hide, for example. But doing it, you were trying to do it like across the entire map, and it just doesn't work that way. Even with a high movement character like Wesker, like you should have just taken a chase at a certain point, because you didn't really take your first like full complete chase until like 3 gens in, and that's just like, I mean, there's brand new parts and proven stuff in here, but like that's around a minute and a half, right? Of time you just kind of like didn't do anything. Not that you didn't do anything, but like, you know what I'm talking about, like the effective pressure that was out there in the game, right? That was a minute and a half of you just kind of like messing around and doing whatever. So they got that leg up on you, and they had that they essentially had a head start on you because you didn't really chase or down anybody. So they had a head start on you for most of the match because you just refused to chase. Always remember, the best slowdown is a good chase. The best slowdown is a good chase. The second thing is a lot of this match, you seem to really like, I understand that, especially if you're learning the character, you're learning Wesker, you want to go for as many M2s as possible. It seemed like there was a lot of easy M1s that you just kind of like forewent to go for M2s, especially at the end. Especially at the end. Like, especially at the end, like where Rebecca like got out, that was because you didn't M1 her. That was because you didn't M1 her. There were plenty of situations you could have M1 people that you just kind of went for these Wesker shots that just like were completely off. Like they weren't even close. So like, don't be afraid to M1. Like, I understand that using his power is the fun part of the character, but don't be afraid to like, you know, kind of rein it in, right? So you can actually like get the results that you want. The Jill Mori did make you lose some time. I think more so, like, I think the issue, and this is what we're going to talk about here, the Jill Mori was fine, but for your third takeaway, like, Leon and Ada were dead for quite some time. Like, Leon and Ada were dead for quite some time, and you didn't get them out of the game. Like, you should have had them dead at like 2 or 1 gens, but you kind of let them hang out for a long time. You should have cleaned them up. Like Ada ends up getting out, and she had been on Death Hook for quite some time, and you don't even go look for her or anything. You should clean up your Death Hook gamers. This was actually, despite how strong their items and add-ons are, like you really could have won this. Like if you've been putting out the kind of pressure you were at like 4 or 5 gens that you were like 3 to 1 gens, like you were fine. You were in a good spot. You just kind of lollygagged at the beginning of the match, and that's the main reason you lost. So that would be my main advice is like no better slowdown than a good chase. And the fact that you gave up chases to enact your slowdown is you were in the situation you're in.